Hello everyone, and today we're going to be talking about Jane's Barbarian Empires, and this is the remastered version of the mod. So actually the mod has received several updates recently in the recent months. I made a video about the remastered port. It must have been several months ago already. There have been many updates since that video. So if you go to Imperial Campaign, you'll see that there are a bunch of new factions, and the map is quite filled out. It's not fully, I think, where they want it to be, but it's looking quite nice indeed. But other than that, there's a particular update that struck me as being kind of cool. And the original Barbarian Empires for Rome Total War, which has also received an update, by the way, to fix a lot of issues in the campaign and bugs. The original one had a lot of sub-campaigns. So there were two versions of the original Rome Total War Barbarian Empires mod, and the original version had several sub-campaigns. So it had how do I call this? It had a regional campaign, so regional maps like a Britain map, a Middle East map, and several others. It had eras. It had several of these types of mini campaigns, which were quite fun. And the remastered version uses Cury's ginormous map, right? So it's the most beautiful Total War map ever made. But there's a new submod, which I believe is going to be included into the main mod a little later. But there's a new submod that adds in one of the regional campaigns called the Britain Conquest, which is just a map of Britain, and you have a whole bunch of factions duking it out on a map of Britain, and then you have the Mundus Magnus classic map. So for a lot of people, and I think that might include myself, I love Cury's map. It's fantastic. But sometimes you just want to play with fewer settlements on a smaller map, and Mundus Magnus is always a classic, as it says over here. So there's a submod that adds Mundus Magnus and this British Conquest map, and I think that is quite cool. I will get into the map here, and actually, you know what I'll do is I will quickly show you the Imperial Campaign map with Cury's ginormous map, and then I'll show you the Mundus Magnus map, and then afterwards, for fun, I'll show you the Britain Conquest map. So I'll see you in the Cury map in just a second. All right, so here we are in Cury's map, which is the Barbarian Empire's Imperial Campaign, as Armenia here. And as you can see, Armenia has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 settlements, 8 regions in this map. And I mean, it's so beautiful. It's a very accurate map. Like the city placement, the geographic features, like you won't find a Lake Van that looks as good as this in any other map. At Lake Urmia, Lake Sevan, all the rivers, it's just phenomenal. And I'm just going to toggle the fog of war here to show off Cury's map a little bit more. Let me zoom out all the way. And it took a second to load there. And you can see how many regions are in this map. It goes all the way to Sri Lanka and deep into Central Asia. And it's really remarkable. And you have the Xiongnu actually added here in the northeast, so that's good. And then you have the Greco-Bactrian Kingdom. So actually, the eastern part of the map, since I covered the mod before, has been slightly filled out, so at least there's something to the east of Bactria, which is good in terms of a major faction. Then you have the Sarmatians there to duke it out with the Scythians and the steppe, so the map is not quite as barren as it used to be. And you have the Libyans and the Gaetuli as well. And I believe the Picts have also been added. So that looks quite good. And the Burgundy as well. So I think those additions were definitely necessary to fill out the map because there were just too few factions on too large of a map before. But this is just a beta, so there's plenty more time for more development. Now, I just wanted to show Armenia here because it's a pretty good illustration of the difference between this map and then the Mundus Magnus classic map. So I will see you in just a second in the Mundus Magnus map. All right, so here we are in the Mundus Magnus map. And as you can see, Lake Van looks much less detailed in this one. And Armenia has 2 provinces. So this is definitely something that if you have less time on your hands, like, I don't know, maybe you have a small child or something at home and you don't have as much time to spend on campaigns, this is a map where you can play Barbarian Empires and it's going to be a little faster paced, right? And one other thing is that I believe when I first covered the port of our Barbarian Empires Remastered, let me just quickly zoom out the map here. When I first covered Barbarian Empires Remastered, a lot of all the units weren't quite in there yet. It was there were some filler vanilla units and things like that. But now it looks like a lot of Lanjane's really amazingly done units are in there. So I highly recommend checking out the mod now, because especially if you play with the Mundus Magnus classic map, it definitely feels a little more fleshed out in terms of the map. So the Cury map is a little barren in a few corners, especially southeast and southwest, you could say. But Mundus Magnus, especially with the Xiongnu added here in the northeast of Bactria, it's quite fleshed out. I think the map looks good, especially with the Sarmatians here and the Xiongnu, and then the Libyans and the Gaetuli, and the Burgundy as well, and Picts. It looks quite good. I really like what Lanjane and Chaz have done with Barbarian Empires. So I think to send off this video, this mod, while I do enjoy, showing off campaigns and campaign maps, especially like Cury's map, which is phenomenal, and Mundus Magnus Remastered looks quite nice too. I will show off some of these units in a battle right now, because Lanjane's units and the Armenian ones especially, they look quite nice indeed. So I'll see you in a battle in just a moment. All right, so here we are in the battle, and I just want to show off some of Lanjane's really well done units here. So here we have the Eastern Heavy Cavalry. And as you can see, these are original Rome Total War units, but I have to say, Lanjane's are some of the nicest looking original Rome Total War units, especially the armor. I think he really gets the shields and the armor right, and it looks quite good. And even though like the models are not like super 3D, everything, he gets that effect where it looks quite 3D. And of course, for Remastered, the shields look much better than they do in the original Rome Total War. So that is always nice. We also have the Royal Bodyguards here, and the officer here looks quite nice. I like the shield. And then you have the Royal Bodyguards with the sort of the heavy cataphracts. And then even some basic units like the Horse Archers here, they just look very crisp, especially for, original Rome Total War units that have just been remastered and touched up a bit. They look very good indeed. I mean, I like the look of original Rome Total War units. I know some people think Rome 2 units look better, but I like these ones. I like these ones. Some of my favorites are the archer spearmen, so the sort of Achaemenid style heavy infantry. Looks good indeed. They look very nice. And then the Ramik sort of peasant spearmen looking good as well. Yeah, other than that, let's just take a look at the heavy spearmen here. Looking good. Sort of Arartian style helmet there. So anyway, that's pretty much everything I wanted to say about Barbarian Empires Remastered. But battles in Barbarian Empires Remastered are very, very dynamic. Like, compared to other mods, Barbarian Empires battles are quite dynamic because I think they do a really good job of playing to the strengths of the vanilla AI. So a lot of the time, I do this too. We try to make the AI like do things that it's just not smart enough to do or not designed to do, like behave well with completely rebalanced hardcore historical like unit stats and extremely high morale, let's say. And a lot of the time the AI is just not capable of performing that well. But in Barbarian Empires, I have to say it performs quite nicely indeed. And that goes for the original, that goes for Remastered as well. And yeah, I will I think I'll try to do a campaign in Barbarian Empires in a little bit when I have time. But I'm going to quickly show you the Britain map, and then after I show you that map, I think that'll be it for this video. All right, so here we are in the map of Britain. And again, Landjane's Roman units also look quite nice. But let me zoom out quickly here and show you the whole lay of the land. So it's just a pretty compact Britain. It's not like Thrones of Britannia sized, but it's quite good. And if you're doing a regional campaign where you just want to run roughshod over Britain against the German tribes and the Picts, then I'd say this is quite a fun mod for you. So anyway, yeah, that's about it. If you enjoy videos about the historical Total Wars and their mods, consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one later.